So we know that men and women are different. There have been plenty of books and plenty of studies that show this very thing, where men and women, we talk, but we talk about different things. We also know that women talk about 3 times more than men per day. We know that men show love, right? We know that women experience love differently than men, etc., etc., etc. So we show up and we are completely different in that way. We are not a different species, just God, my God, has created us differently, where most men are stronger than most women. And the help me in the relationship, not only is it both of them, but the Bible talks about it being the woman first. And so most people stop at that. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. What I do want to talk to you today about is understanding the intricacies of men. And today I have 7 intricacies that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. The first one is his behavior speaks volumes. When a man is interested in you, there is nothing that you can do, that you can say to repel him. I remember listening to Grant Cardone talk about how he called his now wife, I'm not going to say it was thousands of times, but it was definitely hundreds of times. And the majority of the time she was hanging up on him. Then he figured out how to really capture her attention. Long story short, he is now married to her and they have a few kids together. But it took him hearing no several times and or her not answering the phone. But the point is this: when a man wants you, he will do anything to actually get you. And in the case of Grant Cardone and his wife, that is exactly what he did. He kept showing up even when she did not want him to show up. Now I'm gonna bring it closer to home because I also have a brother and a sister-in-law that kind of went down the same pathway, where my brother, was pursuing his now wife for a while. She was not interested in him and he kept pursuing her anyway. Long story short, they got 4 kids together and been married 20 something years. So the point is this: a man's behavior will show you exactly what he feels about you. If he wants you to be in his life, he will figure out a way to put you in his life, and not just for the short term. I'm talking about for the long term. You will not have to call and get a second opinion from anybody. He will not confuse you about his intentions. Whether or not you are on board with what he is saying in this moment, it doesn't matter. He's going to continue if he really wants you in his life. If he wants you to be by his side, he will continue to pursue you and do the things that he needs to do in order to capture your heart. There will be no ambiguity about it. You will not have to rationalize his behavior at all. So, if you find yourself rationalizing and making excuses for why he's showing up the way that he's showing up, why he's treating you the way that he's treating you, especially if you're not feeling that way, stop making excuses for that man. If you don't feel wanted, if he's not showing you how important you are, if he's not making sure that you are a priority in his life, it's simple. He does not want you to be that player on his team. Let that sink in. Please hear me when I say they are more straightforward than we give them credit for. Men know exactly if he wants you in his life. He knows when he meets you if he wants you to be his wife. Now, he may not act on it right away. He may still go down the road of still trying to figure you out. But research actually shows that men fall in love with women faster. They actually say, I love you faster than most women. Look at his behavior. If he's showing you that he wants you, he wants you. If he's showing you that he doesn't want you, it's simple. He doesn't. Move on. Save face. Keep your dignity. Men are simpler than we try to make it out to be, because lots of times we want it to be something that we want it to be versus what we actually see him doing. Stop doing that to yourself. Move on. The second thing about men and understanding his intricacies is recognizing his limitations. Men are not mind readers. All of us have that limitation because women are not mind readers either. And so you have to teach him how to treat you. Listen, You're probably not the first relationship that he's been in, and sometimes not even the first marriage that he's been in. But guess what? Just because he's been in a relationship before and or a marriage before does not mean that the same thing that he did with his ex will work with you. So now you have to teach him how to treat you. You have to teach him what your love language is, the things that make you tick, the things that make you feel like, oh my God, I have won the lottery. You have to teach him how to treat you. So recognize your man's limitations because he does not know it all. And here's the secret, ladies. He really wants to win with you. So simply hand him the blueprint, which is the things that you know that you like, that you love, that's going to make you fall in love with him. Share it with him. Now, you have to use your God-given discernment here because everybody shouldn't be privy to your blueprints. However, if you feel like he does qualify to get the keys to your heart, to get the blueprint that you have, then please give it to him because he absolutely wants to win with you. He wants to look like the hero to you. No one else, just to you. But you got to recognize his limitations. He can't read your mind. He can't see the things that you are thinking. He cannot take the hints that you are just throwing out there. Give it to him straight. Give it to him raw. The third intricacy about your man is that he is not your girlfriend. Please understand that he is not your girlfriend. I repeat, your man is not your girlfriend. Why am I saying that? Because when you with your girlfriend wants all the details. She like, girl, let's sit down. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me get my wine. I want to listen. I want to hear everything. Please tell me. That's women. We want all the details. We want all the juice. That ain't your man. Your man wants you to get to the beat. He don't want all, listen, skip all the details. Skip all the details with your man. He don't want it. Save the details for your homegirl. She want all of them. She want all the juice. She will be there with you for hours, but your man wants you to get straight to the point. Another thing is when you give him all the details, he starts to get a little bit overwhelmed by all of the things that you are giving to him in that moment. And so he's really trying to figure out what is the main point. What is it that she wants me to focus on? And what is it that she needs help with? And he doesn't realize that you just need to get this out. That you're just venting a little bit. That you're just sharing all the juice. He don't want all the juice, baby. He's not your girlfriend. He's overwhelmed with all of those details. The fourth intricacy about most men is that they are boys at heart. What do I mean by that? Yes, I'm a girl at heart. You're a girl at heart, but he's also a boy at heart. What I mean by this is this. Men do not like stress. They don't. They will find ways to avoid the stress. And so if you have okay, let me put it to you this way. You've probably seen your man come home and immediately start to play the video game or go get dressed, go and put on his basketball outfit and go play basketball for hours or football or whatever sport your man is into, right? The reason why is because he may be stressed and just trying to get away from the stress. And so please hear me. If you are his stress, he will find ways to stay away from you because all of us want to be at peace. Your man is no different. He don't always want you nagging him about the things that he is not doing right. He don't want to come immediately through the front door and you are spewing and just giving him all the stuff that you are dealing with. We are different in that way. I talked about the differences before. Women can take all of that juice, details, give it to me. Men, by and large, cannot and even don't want to. And guess what? Some men that are really good at this, you'll see them and they'll be like, Meanwhile, back in the day, you used to look at the newspaper. Meanwhile, he may be scrolling. He might be listening, but he don't need all the juice. What he's listening for while he's scrolling is the main parts that he needs to comment on or either help you with. So whenever life's pressures get to your man and you see that he's off doing his thing, let him do his thing because he's really trying to either decompress, recharge, or even trying to solve an issue or a problem. And one of the things that we as women can actually take from men, at least in this regard, is to get away from the very thing that is stressing us out. Because here's the thing. When you start doing other things, And I know a lot of people have said this, and it absolutely has happened to me as well. Whenever I'm in the shower, so I'm thinking about an issue, a problem, I can't get down to the root of what's actually happening with that thing, right? And then I get into the shower. All of a sudden, an answer comes to me. The correlation between your man playing video games or out there playing basketball for hours at a time or just away is the same thing that happens with me in particular, getting in the shower and the answer coming to me. Whenever you take yourself out of that box of trying to figure things out and you go doing something else, and now your mind is on something else, something about that makes the answer actually come. And so we as women can actually take that from men. Go do something else. So whatever the answer is that you're seeking to the problem that you're trying to solve can come to you. You will feel less stress by just getting away and doing something different. So allow the little boy to come out in your man in order for him to feel more recharged, more in charge of himself, more in control of the situation and or issue that he is dealing with. The fifth intricacy of every man is the fact that men hate complaints. Praise your man. You can get your man to do a lot more by giving him positive reinforcement than you can by complaining. So if you want your man to do more of a thing, give him more compliments about the thing. He will do more of it because, as I mentioned before, he wants the blueprint. He wants to be your superhero. So in this way, baby, I love it when you open up the door for me. I love it when you come through the door and give me a hug and kiss and tell me that you love me. I love it when you send me text messages throughout the day telling me X, Y, and Z. I love it when you fill in the blank, right? Give him the blueprint so he can win with you. Don't complain about the things that he's not doing. And I'm not saying never, but you want it to be a 7-to-1 ratio. And what does that mean? It means that you need to have 7 great things that you're saying to your man versus 1 complaint. And I said 7, but I mean 7, right? You want to give 7-to-1. 7 compliments versus 1 complaint. So do say what is bothering you. Absolutely. Just scale it back. It doesn't have to be any and everything that you're thinking about that you need to get off your chest today. Scale things back. Make him feel like he is your hero and he will want to win with you more often than not. The sixth intricacy of most men is that the things that men take away in conversation is different than the things that women take away. Men share more of the things that they can do and that they love. And it's opposite for women because most women share more vulnerability and or their secrets. So even when you're talking to a man, as I just mentioned, he wants to do something, which is why he feels like he wants to solve your problem, because this is a part of his innate abilities that are coming to the surface. So the vulnerability, yes, you want to see vulnerability, right? But it's not one of his strong suits for most men, right? He don't want to hear about all your secrets. The seventh intricacy about most men is that some men, not all, some men do need space. And here's the thing. You don't want to always think that him asking for space has anything to do with you. And please don't assume that a breakup or a divorce is coming unless there have been red flags before. If there hasn't been any red flags, then okay, trust what your man is actually doing in that moment. Eventually, when he comes back, he will share with you what was actually happening. But in that moment, before he has a solution to the actual issue, he probably won't share it with you. And that's okay. That's just how they operate. It's okay, ladies. You don't have to be privy to everything that's going on in that moment. But at some point, you will get the master key to his mind, to his heart. Just give him time to give it to you. And because you're already understanding the intricacies of your man, let's talk about space even deeper. So go ahead and click this video up here on ways for you to give him space and what that actually means.